Did you guys see those weak, embarrassing lights? If you watch my last video, you know that I've got something to help fix that. I've actually got a pile of new LED lights here. They are the Thomas LED light, which is available at Larson Lights in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. I will have Becky throw some links down in the description below so that you guys can find out all about them after this if you're interested. But right now I'm just gonna take some time real quick to throw a few lights on there, see if we can light up the night a little bit better. This is my old light here that I've got off. This is one that came from the top of the cab. This is what I'm gonna replace it with. They've got all different sizes and types of lights. These are a 60-degree light. They're supposed to be a lot brighter. I'm gonna bolt a few of these up there and see what they look like. Okay, I got my light put together with the mount on it here for this specific application. They make different types of mounts, different types of plug-ins. These lights here that I've got should basically just plug right into the back of the light and then plug into the existing switch on the combine. So hopefully it doesn't take me that long. I'm not gonna do all 6 of these across the top. I'm gonna try with 2 or 3 first and see where we're at. See what kind of timeline we're on here. We wanna get going and get harvesting, so we're gonna get a few of these on and then we're gonna take them out, and tonight we'll see the difference. Dad says, nope, we're not washing it. We're gonna go get some corn, keep that grain dryer going. Okay, he stole my combine. I'm gonna run the 8360 on the grain cart, see what this thing feels like compared to that Challenger 743. I am going to jump out here, see what it looks like behind the machine. Since we changed some stuff on the inside. 5 to 4, I'd say it looks pretty good. There's kernels out there, but it's definitely in the acceptable range.
Okay, but I don't know if the cobs look any better in the tank or not. There's still a bunch of cobs in there.
I'd like to jump up there and see what it looks like, if we could here in a round or 2. 5 to 4, your header's looking awfully wet. You might want to check the sieves in a round or 2. There must be a lot of frost coming off those plants. Here's one of the big areas we lost in that big rain in June. This all sat with water in it and drowned out the crops, and what we ended up with is a lovely cocklebur patch. Farming. My initial first thoughts on this thing after handling 1 load, this thing is rough going across the field at 13 miles an hour with an empty cart. That AGCO, that Challenger, at 18 miles an hour, just glided across there like nothing. It was way smoother. The track system on that Challenger was far superior, at least in the seat, in the cab. Way smoother, way better. Actually felt like it had more traction a lot of the time because I think the weight across the tracks was more evenly distributed. This thing is definitely rougher. However, I like the hydraulics on this better, especially for loading and unloading. The hydraulics are just a nicer functioning hydraulic system. Maybe that's just because this is what I'm used to, I don't know. For unloading in the trucks, I like the transmission on that Challenger better. It's a lot smoother. You put it in foot pedal mode and you can just creep a little bit, inch by inch. You don't have to hold the clutch or anything. On this one, we do have the IVT transmission. I still do hold the clutch because I don't really like using that IVT lever all the time when I'm unloading. This is quiet in the cab, just like the Challenger was. There's a little bit more engine noise in here compared to the Challenger. However, there is no hydraulic whine when you turn. That Challenger would really whine at you sometimes, especially if you were turning sharp. What else? They're both comfortable. I'll keep noticing stuff and fill you guys in. That header is awfully wet. There's a lot of frost coming off these plants. So we're gonna keep checking the ground and checking the back of the combine to make sure that these silks are not getting stuck up in the sieves and letting any corn go out the back. That silk I felt there was pretty dry, so ground looks good. I think we're okay. As far as horsepower and torque goes, this thing's got it right here. The green machine, when you fill up this grain cart, which is really, really heavy, we can get a lot of grain in there, and you get to a hill, this thing's got the snortier, torquier engine to handle that. This thing is technically rated at 360 engine horse, where that Challenger is rated at 430. However, I know they're different type of ratings. I think the actual horsepower on those two is actually pretty close. But this thing is just torquier. It will pull up the hills. It complains a lot, but it will do it. That Challenger loses a lot of speed. 5 to 4, don't turn too fast. She's building up pretty good right above your head. 64,000 pounds on here, and that does not include the weight of the cart. That's heavy. I can't lift that. We got plenty of corn to keep up with the dryer. We got plenty of corn for the dryer to keep moving, is what I meant to say. So we're gonna switch fields. We're gonna go back down south and finish the last 40 acres we got standing there. That was too wet to grab when we were down there before. In the meantime, I figured I'd grab the mail. What the heck is that thing? We're at the next field, pulling off end rows. Same old, same old. We only got about 30 acres to cover here before we head back home. Hour we've chased out 3 to 4 coyotes from this field. When I was younger, we rarely saw a coyote. I honestly don't think I ever saw a coyote until I was probably 13 years old. Now I've seen more coyotes this year that we've chased out of the cornfields than we have deer. And I've seen very few deer, but we've seen a dozen coyotes. It's pretty crazy. I just can't believe it. There's fox around here too, which is kind of crazy. I've always heard that you'll have one or the other, not both, but the coyotes around here have just exploded in the last 10 years. That was just your random, interesting Minnesota canine fact of the day. You're welcome. We finished that 30 acres. Now it's time to head back home, get to work on that stuff. It's been a good day. We haven't had to mess with a lot of end rows, so we're actually getting close to where the wet tank is getting close to full, but we got a little bit of road time ahead of us now, so that'll slow us down some more again. Getting up there. We got a trailer cord that's cooked. Can't open the tarps or the traps. Need a cord. Haven't checked on how the machine's doing for a while. He's gonna need me in a minute, but he's facing the wrong direction. So I'm gonna hop out, make sure this thing's still doing a good job. It's a Deere. They always do a good job. Well, except for that one time and that other time, but they're pretty good. The ground looked clean back here, but you look full.
Yeah, buzzer came on and a little bit came over.
Yep, he was full. I'd say the dust is hanging. Not a lot of wind out here right now. Everything is full. We are gonna run into the yard, grab some supper, let that dryer burn a couple thousand bushels through it, and then we're gonna be back out here to test those lights. Man, this weather has just been unbelievable in the last week. It's just awesome out here. Check out that moon. I hope that shows up on camera. That moon is unbelievable. It's just been crazy. The way the weather was 10 days or 2 weeks ago was nuts. We were fighting everything. Everything was rainy and foggy and freezing cold, and it was miserable. Now, as of lately, it's just been ridiculously beautiful. It's still cold, you know, it's freezing in the mornings, but we just couldn't ask for nicer weather right now. If this holds, harvest is gonna be a breeze from here on out. Look at that. You guys gotta follow my Instagram if you don't. It's definitely odd to be taking a supper break in the middle of harvest, but everything is full, the dryer's still moving. We're gonna come back out and make sure we fill the wet tank up again before we quit for the night. So right now I'm gonna climb up the spin, tap on the walls and figure out how full it is before I go in and find myself something to eat.
The good thing is He probably did, or he'd probably catch the whole damn thing on fire.
Yeah, I can't imagine why this thing had a short in it.
Spent 3 years getting the truck to run right, and then it burned up.
Nom nom nom. Back to work. What do you think of the lights?
Man, there's a huge difference between these.
I would say so. You can actually see that the left side of the header is just lit up way better. The ones in the back is pretty crazy too. That LED one actually lights up the ground. The right side one is just like a kind of a sad little orange glow. That's awesome. Wow, that's crazy.
There'll be no point in dumping till after I turn around.
My turn to go try the big horse with the new lights. There's the non-LED side. There's the LED side. I think I gotta tweak that one down just a hair. All right, that's a little bit better. I do have other 60-degree ones that I can put on up there too to adjust these. But so far, I really like what I'm seeing. Now, if I could just find the short and the wire that goes out to the LED that I put on the end of the auger, we'd be in business. I don't know how many pounds is it from one end to the other, about 10?
Yeah, 10 to 11. How many rows do you have left?
I can't see over there. I'm guessing it's 8 or 10 on this side, so I'll probably be, I mean, it'd be a full hopper, but I think I should be able to make it. I'm not kidding you guys. These lights are incredible. This is awesome. We should have done this years ago. Everything should always have these on it. This is just crazy, the difference. I can't wait to get the other side on there for tomorrow. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.